They are now alleging that they got hacked, like Sam Lee is going to steal the community. But $4 billion seems to have gone missing. I even got a phone call from someone who lost $5 million. This might be a mind-blowing statement that Brenda Chunga, but an informant for the police or the FBI or whatever, whoever is investigating this, Kalpesh Patel came back with some very wise words. He said, desperate members and greedy leaders making horrific choices. Those images were sent to me by someone who was living or spending time with them. He's alive! He's alive!
And we contacted the hacker and offered him a $400,000 bug bounty as reward for returning user funds.
The hacker was not able to get the money out, so then he decided, well, my only choice is to take the $400,000 bounty. Hello, I'm Danny to Heck, aka the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger. How exciting. I got that nickname from being in the New York Times. They did a whole featured article on my quest to name and shame anyone that is promoting a Ponzi scheme or trying to scam somebody on the internet. Now, something interesting happened the other day, and because I've done so many of these videos, you get pretty savvy at actually what things are actually all about. Now, I did a talkover on a video, and it took me 3.5 hours of my life, and then halfway through the video, I decided that I would live stream it at the same time. Now, my computer wasn't beefy enough to do so, and I lost the recording, and I ended up deleting the whole recording. Waste of 3.5 hours. However, why I thought it was important to do this video was because if you're not familiar with Sam Lee and his background and what he's doing back in the hyper community, it's pretty breathtaking. And if you've done over 150 videos exposing, HyperVerse, HyperNation, HyperCapital, HyperFund, HyperStore, HyperBond, HyperCosmos, and now HyperNation, you would know that this is actually disgusting, that they actually brought Sam Lee into the community to say that he's now going to investigate what actually happened so he can talk to corporate. Now, at the beginning, Ryan Zhu and Sam Lee were shined so much light on as being leaders at this Ponzi scheme. Of course, no one thinks it's a Ponzi scheme, but they do now, seeing everyone's lost their money. Something interesting happened after Sam Lee came and got interviewed by the hyper community. And I'm going to show you, and I'm going to go through it, but there is a statement that has been sent out by HyperNation, which is actually unheard of. They are now alleging that they got hacked. And they're only doing this because it looks to them like Sam Lee is going to steal the community. It's all about the hyper community. Now, there was Dave, Troy, and Marcus from the Toshubi show. They were providing a haven for people to go who were trying to get their withdrawals from HyperVerse. Now, if you're not familiar with HyperVerse, this might sound a bit unusual, but $4 billion seems to have gone missing and no one knows where it's gone. Except it does look like they used a lot of that money to do a campaign marketing NFTs and trying to fool people into a new Ponzi scheme which is owned by the same entity, but then they say it isn't, called HyperNation. And people are up in arms. They're furious that they've lost the opportunity to receive 3 or 4 times your initial investment, even though it's not an investment opportunity. Sounds a bit shady, because they ran out of money because it's a Ponzi scheme. I've had phone calls from people who've lost tens of thousands of dollars. I even got a phone call from someone who lost $5 million. They used their family money, they put it into HyperVerse, They received $32,000 out of their $5 million to date, and it was in the Who exchange, and when that fell over, they said they managed to get $1,600 back out of their $5 million plus investment. So I hear stories like this all day long, hence why I'm on a quest to actually name and shame anyone promoting any Ponzi scheme or scam. Right, so this letter that we received from corporate or whoever they are, HyperNation, is breathtaking. And I want to go through it. It's only short, paragraph by paragraph. And then I also want to go back to the original video and show you some things just to show you what a scammer Sam Lee is. He's claiming he doesn't know anything about corporate and what they were doing. And he's alleging that he's in the same boat as you guys. And there's parts in the video where he actually talks about how he doesn't need to basically work. He tries to get some empathy with you, how he lost 200 Bitcoin, all sorts of stupid things like that. But first of all, let's have a look and go through this letter that we received on the 15th of January, which was straight after Sam Lee appeared in this video. Now, I'm going to give you another parallel when they did a knee-jerk reaction. And that was when David, Troy, and Marcus from the Tashumi Show provided a haven for people that lost their money in HyperVerse. They had 5,000 people in a Zoom meeting. And when the Zoom meeting was happening, they told people they needed to diversify. And they threw in a whole lot of salespeople from another Ponzi scheme called Nova Tech. And a lot of people diversified their Ponzi schemes and decided to invest in Novatech. 2 days after that video was played, it was announced that Keith Williams was now the global sales representative for HyperNation, washing his hands of anything to do with HyperVerse. And then he said there'll be some exciting announcements coming out in the next month. And you guessed it, people like Brenda Chunga and a few other people like Rodney. I don't think Rodney, no, I've got that wrong. Have now been appointed global sales representatives for Canada and the US and all that. This might be a mind-blowing statement. I am in touch with a lot of people who are way up trying to stop these people. I got a phone call from a private investigator who tells me that Brenda Chunga was actually brought in for questioning in the USA, and she was questioned for 3 hours about HyperVerse, and she had to answer. I get a lot of information. I don't know whether it's true or not, but I talked to a private investigator for 2 hours who told me that Brenda Chunga is now not a paid informant, but an informant for the police or the FBI or whoever is investigating this. She's informing people. Now, this happened on the 1st of December or at the beginning of December. Since that date, we haven't seen her. We've seen very little of Keith Williams. Keith Williams and Brenda are very close together, and I'm pretty sure that if Brenda Chunga is actually involved in anything to do with informing the police, she would have helped Keith Williams out. Now, there is something else which is quite interesting. So I just want to go back to the fact that we've got Sam Lee here. If you have any information about anything to do with Ponzi schemes or anyone scamming, I want to hear from you. As I said, I've been nicknamed the Ponzi Scheme Crypto Avenger, the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger by the New York Times, and I like the title. I also want to bust scams. On my website, which is theheck.com, you'll find I have a contact button. And every day I get somebody telling me about some scam or opportunity that they have lost their money on. So feel free to do the same. Tell me your name, your phone number, your address, where you're located, your phone number, the investment date, and the amount of money you've lost. And you can also choose to have it anonymous or let me use it publicly. And I will do my best to keep you up to date with what's happening. So let's go back. Now, I actually have correspondence from Kalpesh Patel. Now, Kalpesh Patel actually left when HyperNation started up. He didn't like what was actually happening. So I said, "G'day, mate. I've got to ask you a question. What do you think Sam Lee's motives are by coming back and talking to the hyper community? I believe he's trying to steal the community, not to trust them, and not to trust him as far as you can kick him. Kalpesh Patel came back with some very wise words. He said, 100% screw them again. He said, desperate members and greedy leaders making horrific choices. And that really does sum it up. You've got people who are desperate here trying to get their money back, hoping that the alleged one-time reward is actually going to be paid back to them. And then you've got leaders who have been promoting things like HyperCosmos. Now, HyperCosmos is a shocker. It basically enables you to sell packages. If you sell a package to somebody, you get 50% of that money paid back. And this was their way of saying, hey, if you go and sell something for $1,000 to a friend or a family member, we're going to give you $500 of that money as a reward for selling it. I mean, why would you sell? And then people were asking, well, what is this HyperCosmos? What do they have? And the only thing that they actually do have is actually an academy where they use their academy to teach you how to scam people and become a leader. And it's all set up for HyperVerse, which has fallen over. So basically nothing. And it's not worth this. So the whole lot's a scam. So for them to come out with this letter, basically indicating that they have been, what do they call it? They have been hacked is just ridiculous. So let's listen to it paragraph by paragraph.
HyperVerse has always been in front of innovation in the cryptocurrency and Web3 space with particular focus on the metaverse. The HyperVerse DeFi team is bridging the future with reality, creating a new world of the financial digital world with low participation barriers, easy operation, stable returns, openness and fairness for users.
Well, that's a mouthful of a statement about nothing.
HyperVerse DeFi is a smart money management platform with bank-level security. It is designed to combine and interact with the entire blockchain ecology to create a complete closed-loop decentralized financial platform with a view to maximize smart contract protocols based on blockchain technology. Users can be assured of secure, value-added and trusted financial services for their assets through HyperVerse DeFi.
So that's the claim. So now they're telling you how wonderful their services was. Now they're going to tell you it got hacked. How secure is that? I mean, this is just total bullshit. I'll even have the really what happened part in it.
What really happened? In early 2022, we discovered that a previously unknown flaw in our code was exploited, and this flaw gave the hacker unrestricted access to our systems. And while we had multiple safeguards in place, unfortunately before we detected this attack, the damage has already been done, as 98% plus of user funds in our hot and cold wallets had already been transferred to the hacker's wallet.
So this is so contradictionable, because originally they told you that because it's a bear market and crypto is crashing, that is one of the reasons that contributed to HyperVerse falling over. And the other one is they threw a lot of people under the bus by saying that people were creating multiple accounts. And this was the main two reasons that HyperVerse fell over. Now, I've got videos and I've done videos showing you that Keith Williams, Kalpesh Patel were actually educating leaders how to build teams. And they were teaching people how to create multiple accounts. And then these same guys come out and said, hey guys, this platform fell over because some country, maybe India, has been creating multiple accounts on a big scale. And because of that, the whole system falls over. And if you're anything like me, imagine going to a bank and saying, I want to open up 20 accounts, well, 21 if you include yourself, and then the bank saying, sorry, we can't let you open up 21 accounts, because if you do that, the bank's going to fall over. The reason why the formula doesn't work is because every time someone like me comes along and creates an account, I'm encouraged to bring 2 more people in. Then they use those 2 more people to pay me the rewards, and that's how the Ponzi scheme grows. So if you didn't know, we added up once that every time somebody invests $1,000, the person that introduced them to the system receives $200 of that money. Then if the person that paid the $1,000 to join recruits someone else because they've got a friend or a family member or a partner, then the initial person now gets an additional $150. And then so on and so on and so on. And that's how people like Kalpesh Patel were alleged to be getting $1,000 out of HyperVerse, $1 million out of HyperVerse every day near the end of the collapse, which is astronomical. Now, they were setting up teams, and they might have been fake accounts, and then they were putting strategic people in the top layers of these accounts, and then obviously they were getting paid out the rewards. This is why the system, without getting distracted from what's happening over here, this is how come these get so much traction. Now, you're listening to all these leadership meetings. The leaders are pushing it. You've got people like Whitney, smart, which I really on her tail all the time. You've got Jackie, you've got Tammy, you've got Keith Williams. Now, as soon as they introduce people to it, they could transfer those rewards into USDT and get them out. The person that invested would be quite happy to sit there and wait for the 600 days or the 1,330 days it changed to in version 2 and wait for their rewards to accumulate. They would log into the back end, they would see their daily rewards, they may even transfer a little bit of money out, and then they have credibility with the system that the system is working, they get their money out and they have peace of mind. But obviously near the end of it, everybody was trying to withdraw their money and the system didn't have enough money and it collapsed. Meanwhile, the leaders had already taken big dividends out. And that's why if you look at HyperCosmos is really disgusting, because what it's saying, we don't need to have the leveled structure. What we will do is we'll just give you the 50% straight away. And that's our way of making it easy for you to get your money out. So in the video that I will show you a little bit of, you've got Sam Lee being asked that question. You've got Tammy asking, what do you think of HyperCosmos? And then he's also asking Sam Lee, what do you think of HyperNation? And it just gets ridiculous along the way. But at the end of the day, these leaders are set to profiteer from you investing initially. They don't care that after 600 days or 1,330 days, when you go to your HyperVerse or your HyperNation or your HyperCosmo account and try to withdraw, nothing happens. And those days are there and designed just to buy time. So let's go back to this letter. So here they are talking about their bulletproof system that is multi-secure, blah, 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 that got hacked. So that just shows you and this is not true. Don't take this for true. So let's read the second paragraph.
Once we detected the breach, we immediately commenced damage control measures, and one of the biggest and audacious move we made was to try to move our users away from the affected servers and website into a new one. Hence the rebrand from HyperVerse to HyperCosmos.
Now that's not entirely true, because HyperNation, it was indicated, and remember we're all in the dark here, that that was a completely separate entity. And they were encouraging people to spend $100 on a yellow NFT. These people that had lost their money in HyperVerse were encouraged to buy a NFT, a yellow, a purple, or a platinum. Now, if you bought a purple NFT for $10,000, you could literally bring over the structure of your people that you had in HyperVerse, not the people, just the structure. And when those people decided to buy a yellow NFT, they could go in under your affiliate code and it would be in the structure. And that's how that works. So unless you were a big player, investing $10,000 in a purple NFT, you would really invest it. And that's why you see a lot of these leaders are so invested in staying tuned at helping you stay within the system. This drink has got too much air bubbles in it. All right, and then it gets to another level. If you paid $100,000 for a platinum NFT, that would mean that you become a node and you can help make some of the big decisions when organizing the crypto. Now, I'm not a crypto genius. I'm liking myself to Joe Blogs, and I'm just trying to follow this as they explain it. A lot of the jargon they actually are using is very hard for anyone to understand. So then what do? You ask a friend or a family member or somebody else you know that's invested in this, and you trust that they have an understanding. And they might be quite convincing because they are probably one of the leaders who are getting a backhander for when you sign up. So it's money driven. This is my opinion. But the next part of this is so comical, it's actually quite upsetting for people that have actually invested and thought this was true. Let's have a listen to the next paragraph.
What we have done to make things right. Reported to authorities. Immediately we noticed suspicious activities in our systems. We immediately contacted the relevant authorities. We also contacted major exchanges like Binance and FTX in case the hacker tries to launder the stolen funds through their exchange. This eventually proved to be a highly strategic move and was eventually the catalyst that ultimately swayed negotiations with the hacker in our favour.
Now this is disgusting because this organisation, which is totally mysterious, no one knows who they are, even Sam Lee, who's in here to say he's potentially going to help you, doesn't claim to know who corporate is. Now, we all know that FTX has obviously fallen over, third biggest exchange in the world, lots of corruption, and now Binance, we don't know whether they're good for the money or everyone's saying keep your money on your wallet and your personal wallet rather than on the open exchange and all this sort of stuff. So to come out now after FTX's collapse and say that they were trying to even bring FTX into this here is just disgusting. They immediately contact the relevant authorities, not the authorities, because of course you're not going to go to a bunch of lawyers and you're not going to go to anyone who has authority to do anything about anything when you're running a Ponzi scheme or an illegal activity. Remember, crypto is an unregulated currency. So what authorities are they talking about? Then they insinuate that they had words with Binance. Now, everything these days is hidden under confidentiality agreements, but I'm sure that if somebody at Binance is watching my video and you have any which way of telling us whether a Ponzi scheme such as now get this, it started off with Bitcoin Group, it went to Collinstar Capital, then it went to Hyperfund, and then it went to HyperVerse, and then it went to HyperNation, and then it went to HyperCosmos, and then it went to, it now started up HyperPlanet, and now they're saying we've also got something called a Hyper Store, and it gets a bit more ridiculous. Then you've got all the currencies. So you've got HVT, which is HyperVerse token. Then you've got HNT, which is HyperNation token. And then they said they're going to release HND, which is going to be the stable currency, which is going to be like USDT, which it won't be. And now they've come out with one called HyperBond, which is Hyper HB. And all these coins and tokens that they're talking about, they can't actually get them onto a real exchange. So if you're fortunate enough to have any of those, and remember Bitcoin Rodney, I think he had 42 million HU dollars or HyperVerse dollars he was willing to give away, which his point was it was worthless. And it's just ridiculous. So all these coins and all these names are there to cause confusion. But at the end of the day, if it's got anything to do with crypto, and it's got anything to do with multi-level marketing, and it's got anything to do with multi-level marketing reward system, like they say that your credit card company gives you rewards because you're a member, and this is their loophole, then just stay away. I mean, why would you trust any of these companies? Now, from my research, I've found that a lot of people think they're cleverer than the scam. They understand that it's a Ponzi scheme. They understand that people are going to lose their money, but they think that they can get in early. They put their money down, and then as soon as it doubles, they take their money out, and that's their clever way of doing it. Now, that does actually work for some people, but the other side of it in the bigger picture is these people that I see in these Zoom meetings learning how to become professional leaders or scammers. One person comes to mind that I can't stand, and that's Whitney Smart. And she's out there telling everyone that your pension fund is a Ponzi scheme ran by the government. She's telling everyone that HyperCosmos is a great idea. And so did Carl. Now, if you go to my YouTube channel, have a look through my shorts, you'll see a couple of shorts there of Carl. And I'm actually going to do that, if I can do that without screwing this up. Yes, I can. So if you're on my YouTube channel, you come to my website and you click on YouTube channel. I want you to listen to the arrogantness of these guys. I'm going to go into my own shorts. And there's a couple of things here which I really want you to pay a bit of attention to. So first one is Carl here. Now he was promoting HyperCosmos.
Is it possible to get the principal out that I put in, my capital? Or no? So that was just a rumor.
The only way it can be done. So
the only way I can get money out is by onboarding new people.
You have to, yeah. And I'll tell you what.
Where did my money go?
Sorry?
Where did my money go? Where did my investment go? My principal.
It's still in HyperVerse. It will move over to HyperCosmos.
Yeah, so I have to onboard people into this new thing, which
exactly.
I don't know. I don't feel comfortable doing that with people, given my experience with HyperVerse.
Okay,
and
so you have a choice.
6,000.
Then here's your choice. All the money that's in there, just walk away, forget about it, because you're never going to get it.
So I never get the money.
You'll never get the money.
So
the only way you will get it paid is this way. And the reason is
taking other people's money and putting them on the line to risk losing all their money.
Leland, I'm not going to get into an argument with you in my room here. If you're not happy with it, please leave and then get your information elsewhere. But I'm not here to cause an argument with anybody. I'm here to rely the information that I know of what's going on. If you're not happy about it, there's nothing I can do. I'm just the messenger.
I think you're misunderstanding the question. Is it possible?
Right, so that was Carl, and I can't pronounce his last name. Just while I'm on these shorts, if you looked at the back, if you look at that picture there, you can see Ryan Zhu. And if you look closer, you'll see he's got a tear come down his eyes. Now, I'm getting fed these pictures from someone who's living in the same house or know him personally. So have a look at this one here. Now, I went through all the images, had a look at it good, and I could see that I looked at the light switches, and they're the same as light switches in America. I don't know what they're like in China, where I thought he was, but it does look like he's still in America. Now, I have heard rumors that he's under house arrest, which is amazing. But here was another one, which I'll get you guys to look at while we're just here. I'll get back.
当你老了，雪纷飞，我在北方的海里四季。当青春一样回不来，我也不会再。
All right, so why I showed you those photos was simply because I get all sorts of information over my desk. Those images were sent to me by someone who was living or spending time with them. Now, they've asked me to sign an NDA, and I can actually get more information if I like, and I've agreed to do that. So if you provided those videos to me and you want me to sign anything to keep confidentiality maximum, I will do that. But what it tells me is, I asked the person what connection they had with Ryan Zhu, and they said they were providing karaoke and, let's just say, professional services to him. They told me that those images were taken on his birthday, and they also provided me a photo of him crying. Now, this is the guy that's meant to be worth billions of dollars, 300 companies, and 2021, we found that he took a job that was paying $120,000 a year. And this was only in 2021. Now, somebody that's worth billions, remember we watched the HyperVerse video, and I will show you this video because I think it's quite important to actually get it in context. But this video here I played the other day,
the quality project,
you can actually see
access to other
hopefully I'll find the
personal
right part.
and financial situations. Changing blockchain ecosystem. Over 18 can become a member. For example, the opportunity. He's been an angel investor in 12 of the top 20 cryptocurrencies of all time.
So this one here, they're actually talking about Ryan Zhu, how he has 300 companies.
A founder and board member of Hcash, HyperDAO, and Molecular Future. In the traditional stocks and shares world, he's been an early investor and shareholder of several publicly listed blockchain companies on the Australian, Tokyo, and NASDAQ stock exchanges. Ryan Zhu is also the founder of the Hypertech Group and the HyperCommunity, and was an angel investor in over 40 digital currency exchanges.
Right, so you've got Colin Star Group, which is the one we mentioned way at the start, and that was also, then we also had Sam Lee, which we're about to hear from, and they talk about how he owns
distinguished block
a company. I'll turn that down, but they talk about how he actually owned Blockchain Global. Well, they call it Blockchain Center. Now, if you don't know anything about Sam Lee actually managed to get his company listed on the Australian Stock Exchange, and after raising, get this, $50 million, the company took off with all the money, and he's been in hiding ever since. And he's just stuck his ugly head out, and now he's promoting another scheme called Stable Dao. So if you went to stable.limited, you would find his website, and if you look up stabledao.limited, you will find the business. And it's not rocket science, but I believe that Sam Lee is actually trying to get the community. And while I'm on my bandwagon, I wanted to show you the video of Sam Lee when he first came back into the picture. So this is 2 months ago, and this is my take on Sam Lee. Oh my goodness, there's no sound. Let's do that again. 1 minute, please, caller. He's alive! He's alive! Sam Lee is alive! He's come back from the Ecoverse, Megaverse. Yeah, so I went through the whole company. Hope you enjoyed that. And I found all the people behind it. I went through all their LinkedIn accounts. I even have got a message from Sam Lee asking me what I want, whatever that means. Send me another message, Sam. And all these guys that are behind it, you see them on Zoom meetings everywhere. And honestly, it's just disgusting that he has taken $50 million away from Australian investors. The liquidators are after him. He's in hiding somewhere. And when he was on this video just the other day, he was tired. Now, I'm in basically the same time zone as Australia and New Zealand. We're 3 hours apart. He said it was 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't watch the leadership meetings. I get the videos given to me by people who are disgruntled. But it seems like he's in Australia because he's in the same time zone as me. So it's really, really weird. Anyway, let's go back. I don't think I had really anything else to show you there other than, don't trust anything to do with HyperCosmos. I mean, this video here is actually breathtaking. And the guy that was actually promoting it, his name is
Carl Haavaldsen.
Right, and we had a recording.
Okay. Hi, Carl. Hi, how you doing?
And we had question and answers, and people come on and asked him all about HyperCosmos, and it was brilliant. So I managed to record the whole lot, got the whole lot onto my YouTube channel. 2 days after that video went out, Carl basically did a retraction and said he's no longer promoting HyperCosmos, and he's only promoting HyperNation from now on. He deleted all the videos that he had online. Fortunately, I got them. And also the other thing you can do if you really want to do a deep dive into this stuff, because I'm sure if you're invested, you're interested, you can go to my YouTube channel, and on the top right-hand side,
hello everyone,
you'll see 2 links.
I'm Danny DeHeck.
Shut up, Danny. And I've got an Odyssey channel. And on the Odyssey channel, you can actually find all my content that has not been able to make its way onto YouTube. And you can actually go in there and listen to all the recordings that they can't take off, because Odyssey is on the blockchain, and the blockchain's secure and you can't lose anything. But if you go down here enough, you will actually find the actual video that I can't put on YouTube of Kyle. So there it is there. And you can actually watch the video that has since been removed from Carl's Vimeo account. So I'm just going to let that play until you see a little bit of it.
Rolling.
Yeah, so there's the complete video of Carl telling you all about HyperCosmos. So let's go back to what we know. So just to reiterate, they're basically saying they contacted the authorities when they realized their indestructible system was hacked. And then they moved they wanted to move their users away to protect them. Oh, this is so bad. Let's have a listen.
Move users away from affected website. We started the rebranding process that would move users away from the affected servers. In hindsight, we probably could have handled things differently by keeping users informed about the incident. But at the time, a priority was moving users away from the affected servers without raising too many alarms or giving users false hope about the return of their affected funds, as we didn't know for certain if the funds would be recoverable.
Oh my goodness. A lot of rubbish here, guys, but let's listen to the rubbish and see exactly what they're saying. This is amazing stuff.
Offer hacker incentive. A platform was involved in a massive heist, and we contacted the hacker and offered him a $400,000 bug bounty as reward for returning user funds. When the hacker couldn't launder the funds through exchanges because of the steps we had taken to prevent that, he eventually agreed to our terms, and on the 1st of January, 2023, the funds were safely refunded to us minus the $400,000 paid out to the hacker as big bounty.
So they baited you, first of all, by telling you that FTX, which is obviously a fraud, and Binance were notified that not to basically let those funds transfer through their system. And this actually caused the hacker a problem. The hacker was not able to get the money out, so then he decided, well, my only choice is to take the $400,000 bounty. Does that sound like a real thing to you? To me, it's just absolutely crazy. Okay, so they eventually agreed to our terms on the 1st of January. I mean, is this why they've kept everyone hanging for so long? It's just absolutely ridiculous that they're even trying to actually say this is the reason. So you've not only got, I'll reiterate, you've not only got the multiple accounts to blame, you've not only got the fact that crypto is now a bear market, but you've now got the fact that this hacker has hacked into a bulletproof blockchain whatever and managed to get through all their firewalls and managed to get full access to all their client database. So all your information, theoretically, has been given to a hacker, and he knows all your crypto wallets and the whole 9 yards, who said, this is just so ridiculous. And this is all because Sam Lee has gone on to the HyperCommunity and created a nightmare for the people, whoever they are, to go have a go at getting the community for his HyperDAO new business thing, which I'll bring up in a browser in a minute while this is playing.
Refund affected users. A platform has been operated on a foundation of transparency and fairness, and that is a tradition we would like to continue. So, on this note, we would like to refund affected users the funds they lost in the platform, although there would be a slight catch. Only your invested capital can be successfully withdrawn from the platform. All earnings and incentives would be invalidated in the user compensation program we have set up.
Now, think about the logic of this. As I said previously, I come along and I invest $1,000 in HyperVerse. Everyone that's introduced me to it literally gets paid out 52% of that $1,000. So 48% of the money that I invested is now on the platform. And what they're alleging is going to happen, that never happens, because they just keep coming out with announcements and they keep giving you guys hope. They're alleging that they're going to return your one-time investment back. So that means I'm going to get, going by them, I'm going to get my $1,000 back. All right. where are they going to get the money from to get the other 52% of the money that has been given out? Now, I had a phone call with a guy whose family has invested over $5 million. I asked him, who was the person who your sponsor was? He didn't want to tell me the name of that person because it was a lady he recommended wouldn't have, who wasn't connected to it, and she was just advising them how to go about doing it. But if I put $5 million of my money into HyperVerse, the reward for the person that sponsored that person into it would have been $1 million. And all the Cloonies underneath her would have got $750,000. You know what I'm saying? So if they were even going to send people back their initial investment, they don't have the money to do it. Now, if you were following this like I have been, HyperFund, or HyperCapital was the first one, then that got a bad name and it was getting labelled as a Ponzi scheme. So they rebranded it to HyperFund, and then they rebranded HyperFund to HyperVerse. But if you go back to HyperCapital Day, they were actually Ryan Zhu, who theoretically was worth millions of dollars and had 300 companies, they had an insurance for $100 million, which was going to insure the fact if it fell over, he would bail people out. Now, as my calculations show, and they tell me that 1.6 million people have been involved in HyperVerse. Now, the minimum amount of money you can invest was $300. One guy I spoke to, his family created 117 accounts, and if you add that up, let's just say the minimum $300 each times 1.5 million is actually $4 billion. Kalpesh Patel once texted out in a tweet, he said, what has happened to the $4 billion? He wanted Hyper Nation or HyperVerse to say what has happened to the money. He knows what's happened because he's in multi-level marketing. The leaders at the top, the people that are still promoting it today, are there to keep face. That's what's happening here. Okay, now I don't know if I read that, but I think I did. So let's carry on and see what else they say. Now they're going to tell us how this reward system actually works.
How would the withdrawal process work? We would like to ensure every of our investors that we have put extra precautionary security measures in place to ensure that mistakes of the past are never repeated. Most of our verification and withdrawal process has been 100% automated, and specific verification steps and processes has to be followed for user identity to be verified and withdrawals activated in their individual accounts.
Sounds ridiculous. Now, I don't know about you, but I sign up for a lot of these accounts. Now, just so you're 100% clear, I do not invest in anything to do with Ponzi schemes. I'm going to have a micro break, tell you about a story about a guy that invested $26,000, or maybe pounds, it was $26,000, into HyperVerse. And he quit his job and he was going to live off the passive income, because this is what they sold people. Invest your money, get the rewards, and live happily ever after on passive incomes. He did live off the passive incomes for 2 months. And then I think it froze around April, March, I don't know, whenever it was. And then he's now got bills mounting. His wife is the income earner, and there's no more money coming in, and he's sweating. And he is hoping that HyperVerse is legit. And a lot of people are hanging on to that hope. And hope's a funny thing. But anyway, my point is that the withdrawal process is not going to happen. I've totally lost my train of thought. What did I lose my train of thought? Can't remember. Sorry, been a long day in the office. Hasn't really, just I'm not here. So, that's right. So what I'm saying is that obviously he's never been paid out. But if you have to verify your identity, that would be a danger in itself, because I sign up for a lot of these accounts. That's where I'm going. Right, I'm back again now. I sign up for a lot of these accounts. And I think when I sign up for these accounts, they ask me for a lot of personal details. And if they ask me for my passport or my driver's license, I don't do it. I never give anyone my passport, my driver's license, or anything that will identify me, because I know that these this information is not secure. Exactly what happened over here, over there, over there, exactly what happened up there is that now they're asking you to be authenticated. Now that's going to be the loophole. Now anyone that can do that, what a laugh. Because I remember there was a period in time when you had to use the Google Authenticator and you had to upload an image. And every time you uploaded the image, it said the image was too blurry. And everyone was complaining in the Facebook group that they closed down, saying that they couldn't get an image uploaded. So that whole process is going to be the next thing that people can't do. If you know anybody that has actually managed to get their money out of HyperVerse and their money back, please let me know, other than one of the leaders who I believe is still on the payroll. All right, so this is how the process is going to work. Okay, now here we go. Let's have a look.
Since the incident occurred, we have been working hard behind the scenes to reach this moment, and this is a culmination of all our hard work. Kindly keep an eye on all our Telegram announcements channels in the coming days for information and steps required for fund recovery. The channel link is here.
Alrighty, I'm going to do something I don't normally do, but I'm going to show you, what type of effect did that announcement actually have on the community. Now, I'm here. All right, I'm going to try something I don't normally do. This may blow you away, but hopefully not too much. So hopefully you will be able to see a Telegram group. So if I flip on that, oh, it's a wee bit crooked. 1 minute, please, caller. Okay, so this is my Telegram. Yep, that's it. So this is Telegram. And I have been subscribed to a Telegram group called HyperNation in brackets UK. And since this announcement happened, I said to somebody, something's going down. So this announcement was on the 15th of January. Now this group, when I joined it, had 57 members. Now this is not refreshing. This is actually 10,000 people have joined HyperNation UK group hoping to receive an announcement about how to get their money back. A lot of this is in Chinese, which is just astronomical. Which is blowing me away. So here comes the latest part. Oh, God, do I have to do this again? Oh, I'm going to go to the bottom. And here's the latest post. I'm not allowed to be in the HyperNation group because I get banned. But for some reason, this particular group has been kicked out. Now, while I am here, I'm going to show you my group. And I have actually got groups on, if you go to somewhere on my website, you will find a link to my Telegram group. So I have groups on Luna 1, HyperVerse, Ponzi schemes, scams, HyperCosmos, HyperNation, HyperStore, wewe.Global, HyperPlanet, Stable Deo, which is Sam Lee's, the New Zealand High Court, that's a different story, Super One, Coin Market Bull, Hyper One, and What the Heck podcast. So if you ever want to join any of those, you let me know. All right, and the other thing here, I'm just going to go back to the other screen. I like this, being able to switch screens. I've just figured out how to use my laptop and my big screen and not lose you guys. So I'm going to go to the very to the last part because we want to hear the thank you.
Thank you for your patience and for your continued faith in HyperVerse. For additional information and future announcements, don't hesitate to reach out to us in the new group we have set up since we lost access to all previous accounts.
Oh my goodness, it's ridiculous. So I'm going to have a click at that and see where I can get in here. Let's have a look. Okay, I'm going to open in Telegram, which means I'm going to be back. Delete and leave. So it tells me delete and leave, which I assume I have been banned from that group. You can't see that. I'm just going to have another wee look at that. I'll try that again. Yeah, they don't like me for some reason. But anyway, it does tell me, it's not accessible to me. It does tell me that there's 4,442 members, which I'm sure you can see. Now that's really interesting because that other group I showed you had 10,087 members. Isn't that weird? All right, so just going to go and show you Sam Lee's new thing. Which is really breathtaking. Now, when this website first came out, I checked the location of their offices, and it was a Regis office in London. And then when I produced my video, miraculously, it got updated to a Regis address in Tokyo. And then I went and flipped along to their Facebook page and I realized that they still had the old address. So it's good to know that my what do you call it? My videos do have an influence on these scammers. And also what I do realize is these scammers, if you go to their LinkedIn profiles and have a look at them, they're nobodies. I've got more followers and subscribers than these guys. They don't interact on LinkedIn. And let me just show you something interesting while we've got Sam Lee on our targets. So this is Sam Lee. And when you click on it, I've been following his LinkedIn account for a long time. I do a lot of LinkedIn stuff. And this is Sam Lee and his LinkedIn profile. Now, Sam, if you're watching this, I do LinkedIn workshops. You can actually make it that even if you're not connected with someone, you can still have your background picture visible. You just need to go into your settings to fix that. But let's say I'm going to Sam Lee and I want to message him, send profile a message. Has he updated this? I'm just wondering, subdomain. I think they've actually updated this, but if you go to Sam Lee's real account, which it used to link through to, so let's just do some investigating in real time, which hopefully I don't lose you. If you come down here and click on Sam Lee, this is Sam Lee's original account, and he's come back on the 6th of November asking me what I want. So I'm going to give him a hand. And this was the exact account. Oh no, it's the same one. Basically showing he is Blockchain Global. And this is the account which I got, once I published the new video, I got a message from him the very next day asking me what I want, whatever that means. He's still claiming that he owns Bitcoin Global. And why I'm saying that is that company, 40% of it was owned by Colin Starr Group. Colin Starr Group, a part owner of that was Ryan Zhu. So that's why I've come back to this one here and I've said, who needs enemies when you have friends like Sam Lee? And obviously that was Ryan Zhu's birthday and he's crying and that's no good. So let's just keep it going there. So what I'm going to do now on the right hand side, I noticed it said for more information on retrieving your money, click here. So let's click here and see where it takes us. Oh, and it takes you to, oh my God. So it takes you to the Telegram group, which obviously I'm banned from. So that, good luck. So if anyone has figured out what process that you need to get your money back from, HyperNation. So just to reiterate, the truth behind HyperVerse is they are not only saying that the bear market caused them to lose their money, not only are they have been lying to the community, not only have they said the other big issue was multiple accounts. I do remember when you had Stephen Reese Lewis coming on announcing to everyone that some people had created up to 500 accounts. Then I did a video showing you Kalpesh Patel was showing people how he manages his 77 account. And then if you go back to one of my other videos on my YouTube channel, I actually just re-uploaded it just recently, but I showed you that in 2021 when you had Amanda Lee and Keith Williams actually doing a training session. You got to go click. I'll go back to this. Is quite confusing, all these buttons, but they were doing a training session in 2021. Here it is here, Hyperfund, and Keith Williams was telling people that it's not a good idea to set up multiple accounts if you're only a small-time investor, but there is a reason why you would want to set up, and just while you're here, often people go on about the length of my videos, click on more, and you can see here I timestamp things. So if I go to multiple memberships, you can click on that part of the video. It will take you to the exact part and you can listen to these people.
And what would be the benefit to creating it? Do you have to create a separate account to add money to the to
Absolutely not.
And
no, you don't have to. No.
What's the benefit to having having multiple accounts?
Good question, Phyllis. I'll take this one, Amanda. Phyllis, great question. Of course, if you have one account, you will be receiving one reward coming into that account. If you build a team, it will be accelerated. If you have multiple accounts on multiple, your second level and multiple accounts, you can eke out a few extra percent. But for a lot of people, it's a lot.
So watch that video if you want. And the other one that I have actually got in here, which I think I put back online, I'm not going to tell you why, but I had to take a whole lot of my videos off, and I'm slowly putting them back online again. But I think I had one in here somewhere that basically just, so I'm not getting too distracted. So you came here to listen to, actually one more thing. Boy, I'm contradicting myself. Stay with me, guys. Don't you leave. I'm going to get rid of Sam Lee's baby. The other one too, if you go to the contact us information, you can see that they say that they are situated in this building here. If you put their building address in here, I'm pretty sure it will show you a shared office space. Now you got to ask yourself, Sam Lee's in this video, he's telling us that he is doing really, really well. However, their company office address just so happens to be, I'm pretty sure it's Regis, and they're using this as their office space, which is just a load of crock, and it's just smoke and mirrors stuff. All right, so that's what I wanted to show you.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Danny. Shut up, Danny. So what I wanted to show you was I did a video. Now, this full-length video without my commentary is actually online, and you can watch the full-length video. It will be right next to this one. So don't feel you have to stay around and watch. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the video here. I'm going to go back to the start, and I'm just going to go speed through it little bit by little bit. So stay with me if you want.
And then we can just go ahead and get started.
Yep. You're ready.
No, with that. Okay. All right. So again, the conversations that we've been having with Sam has been really, really good. He is like, I've been doing presentations with Sam, about him, for like two plus years, just talking about him and hyping him up on the calls and things of that nature. So to be able to just now sit down at a table and talk with him and get to know who he is as a person has just been, has been phenomenal. He's just a great guy. He's, he's very transparent.
So just that alone makes me throw up in a bucket. He's a great guy. This guy is meant to be the chairman of HyperVerse. So the chairman, in my understanding of a company, normally has a say. Now he's claiming he doesn't know what's going on. He's gone into hiding for 10 months, and I don't know where he's living. I'm assuming it's still Australia. He's got investigators, liquidators after him. He's still meant to be worth millions of dollars. And now he's come back into a community saying he doesn't understand what multi-level marketing is all about, and he literally wants to steal the community. The day after he was in this video, then you get this new surprise email from HyperVerse, which has taken them 8 or 9 months to come out with, saying they were hacked. And it's only been on the 1st of January that they've managed to get access to the database and all the money, because for all this time, the exchanges have been blocking the withdrawals that the scammer or the hacker has been trying to get out. What a load of shit. So it's all about the community. So if you're part of the community and you're watching this, you're a valuable resource. And as I showed you, in the UK Telegram group, 10,000 people have actually signed up that group hoping to get news about how to get their one-time reward, which does lead to something else, which I must admit is there really 1.5 million people involved in HyperVerse? Only 10,000 people have joined a Telegram group called Hyper Nation UK. Why is that the case? If there is 1.5 million people, it doesn't add up. And also, if you do your maths, you can also look at the Zoom meetings. Now, I've never seen more than 1,800 people in a Zoom meeting for the Hyper community. So that would also tell me statistically, it doesn't add up. Hyper community is just one of the communities within HyperVerse, and the other big communities are people like Bitcoin Rodney, who vowed not to move over to Hyper Nation. And then you've also got people like I mentioned earlier on is Tony, Marcus, and Troy. Troy, is it Tony? I think I might have got that wrong, but from the Shuby show, I always get that name wrong. Anyway, my point is it doesn't add up. This does not make sense. But hell of a lot of people, because I get messages every single day from people telling me that they've lost their money to HyperVerse or other scams. All right,
has
so
a
let's carry
heart
on.
for the community. He really wants to provide value-added solutions to the situation that we have at hand. And I am going to, allow him to.
Okay, so this guy in the picture here, Kobe, I think his name is. Kobe has been talking to Sam Lee for a long time, and he basically just talks about how he's convinced Sam Lee to come in. There's Sam Lee looking like a little wee puppet, submissive. But this guy has stolen millions of dollars theoretically from the community that he's come back into. So imagine a bank robber coming back and saying he's not a bank robber anymore. It's amazing. I don't really think I can either offer too much value, but one thing I did pick up on is a lot of these people actually have a hidden agenda. And the hidden agenda is, in my opinion, to get the community over to his new hyper stable DAO limited, which stable DAO is a coin. And I think he wants people to stake their money for 10 years before they get the rewards out that he's promising. 10 years. And he's trying to make out he's a big time investor in crypto. He's using stories like he lost 200 crypto bitcoins, and just stupid stuff. He's trying to get empathy with you guys, telling you that it's 4 o'clock in the morning and he's a bit sleepy. And if you look through the whole process, he never really moves much. He doesn't have much of a presence. And he does actually, I had more credibility for him at the start of doing my research with HyperVerse than I did watching him today. But one thing that really stood out to me was all these leaders use NLP training. And he said something 3 times. And he kept saying, if we do something together. And that insinuated to me that the next announcement or the next leadership meeting, which I haven't even seen last Saturday's one yet, is I wouldn't mind betting that he's going to suggest that you diversify and get involved in his new scheme or something else they're about to push. And the one times reward is the carrot. Now, I want to go on about one other thing, and that's hope. Now, I am an ex-Jehovah's Witness, and the elders and the ministerial servants and the circuit overseers and the Bethelite people that used to come and speak and talk to us on the stage are like these leaders here. Now, what I get from these people is they're using these brainwashing techniques, and they use NLP training, which actually pisses me off. Now, he said 3 times that if we do something together. So I think they're going to manipulate. Also, they go after people in the Black African community. I've seen lots of Zoom meetings. Most of the people are 50 and above, and they don't know the arse end of a computer. And they're sitting there with their phones trying to transfer money into HyperVerse so they can purchase a membership. And then they're just going to sit there and look at it and think how much money they've made each day. When it comes to withdrawing the money out and transferring it into another currency, many of that age group give up on doing it because it's too complicated. I had a guy that I did a video for called Mike Lucas. He put $25,000 of his money into HyperVerse, and I think it might have even been HyperFund at the time. He was a bit shy and he didn't want to tell his story because he felt a bit silly, but he braved up and he did the right thing. That guy, if you search for the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger, you'll find the article in the New York Times, and you can actually see the video on my YouTube channel, and it states, what's his name? Keith Williams. And I demand that Keith Williams gives this guy his $25,000 back. You've got people like Kalpesh Patel, $1 million a day that he was profiteering from creating multiple accounts. Allegedly, I don't know this is a fact, but I've heard different stories. $1 million a day these guys have been getting out of HyperVerse. And now you've got HyperVerse coming up with, I've just got another screen over here on my laptop. This is the reward structure that they were promising people. If you want to have a look at the original video, it's gone. If you want to go and have a look at the original video, it's on my YouTube channel. I uploaded membership 2.0 presentation of HyperVerse, and you can see the people like Ryan Zhu and Sam. You can see how they used a fake CEO called Stephen Reese Lewis, and all these things basically are showing you that this company, you can't believe anything they say. Everything they say is there to get your USDT out of you. There's no such thing as HyperNation. and it just absolutely pisses me off. So let's go back to Sam Lee. What I really did want to show you is near the end, Tammy was getting so pissed off with people, she got to be really rude, and it was quite comical.
At least, I guess they have learned how to make withdrawals of their capital. Okay.
Yeah, this question is keep popping up, and you keep, Edir, whatever your name is, however you pronounce it, you keep asking the same question, and you're doing a back-to-back, in my chat here directly to me. And this question has been answered from the very start of this conversation till now. So if you didn't pick it up by now to answer this question, I guess it's not going to get answered for you tonight. Because it's the same question you keep asking that Sam keeps answering.
Well, I'm not the brightest tool in the shed, the sharpest tool in the shed, but obviously they don't like the answers, Tammy, and they don't like the information you're giving them. I mean, these people have been told to hurry up and wait for such a long time. It just gets ridiculous. So, I mean, you can't trust these people. You can't trust anyone that's a leader in this community because you're profiteering. You guys had come up with a solution called HyperCosmos, where people were encouraged to sell packages. They could transfer their hyper bond and use that to purchase account in HyperCosmos. And then you were telling them that if you recruit 3 people into HyperCosmos, 50% of the money they paid in would go back to you. And then if you wanted to withdraw money out of HyperCosmos, you couldn't use your Hyperbond to create a proper account. You had to import or use fresh USDT. And if you used fresh USDT, then you were able to withdraw 70% of the money that you were given to in rewards, and you had to leave some there. Now, these figures that I'm giving are just Chinese whispers. I don't know if they are the exact figure. So when that was told to me, using what they are telling me about HyperCosmos, that you could create an account, you could sell packages with nothing in them to friends and family, then it got tricky when they said that if you used your Hyperbond dollars to create the accounts, you're going to have difficulties getting the money out. So then they suggested, forget about that. Just go and put $100 of USDT into a HyperCosmos account. And then you won't have any hassles getting the money out after you referred 3 people. So that to me was just breathtaking. So what I want to do is I want to expose this lady a little bit more. Hello, she tells everybody that I'm bullying her online. This lady's husband contacted me telling me that if I don't stop bagging his wife, that he's going to go to the authorities and report me for harassment. She's actually having a day. The lady I'm talking about is the blurry face suckerfish lady. Now, when I was running around Auckland, I had a headset on and I was listening to the recording of Whitney. And she was telling us how you need to actually just take it on the chin, put $100 USD into HyperVerse and be done with it, because this is the only way you're going to get your money back. And what really made it sick is the fact that Carl had preached the exact same message a week earlier, got told off by corporate, took all his videos off, and then changed the fact that he's not promoting HyperCosmos anymore, and then she come along. This hasn't got her a video because she's trying to hide from me on the internet. She talks about me on the internet as a guy that's trying to bully her. So I've got a 35-minute video of her talking. Have a listen to it. See whether they have got the right agenda. And the other one too, I'd like you to have a look at, if you're there, and I've still got you, is this one here. I told you. Yeah, now this is Whitney. And this is Whitney doing what she does best. Have a listen to the start of this. It's only 45 seconds.
No one actually told me to do this. And maybe I made an error of judgment.
Maybe. Hold on, here we go.
Nobody told you to quit your job.
Thank goodness. I'm a YouTuber and I love my job.
Who told you to take out your whole life savings?
Oh, I didn't have much, so I just thought I'd get the whole lot and put it all down.
The only people that are happy-go-lucky are the V5s and the people that have made money.
That's going to be a
So I'm really going to try to keep this very, very short.
Thank goodness. If you watched my first video, you see I spent an hour and a half on this section alone.
Very, very concise. Really not committed to helping their team. You don't hear certain things until you're ready to hear it, but you're not actually invested in doing the work in yourself. This is not to shame anybody. You know, don't go into the Telegram groups and be negative. Goes through.
Oops, I've been naughty there. Yeah, so what she's actually doing is gaslighting, and she is basically moving the blame back to the person. Tammy in here, she is also telling people off in the groups that they shouldn't have the opinion. And she actually, in this video, blocked someone because they were asking the same question over and over again. I've also done other videos on contemplating suicide because when I was in the New York Times, there was a lady who approached me who's busting Ponzi schemes as well. And her organization said that they have tracked 11 people that have committed suicide from their investments in Ponzi schemes. And obviously, the one I've been busting the most is HyperVerse. So this is actually, if you're feeling that way, go to my YouTube channel and look for the one that says contemplating suicide, because I got a professional guy to come along and do a talk on things you can do to help people that may be, and also telltale signs of people that may be looking like they're contemplating. And if you haven't got time to do that, just listen to these words. If you've got a friend or a family member who seems to be quiet and you think they may be thinking about taking their own lives, just ask them point blank, are you contemplating suicide? Now, no one's died from asking that question, but statistically speaking, it's the best question you can ask someone who is actually contemplating suicide. If they say yes, I've asked quite a few people that question. I've had 2 people tell me they were, and I said, let's go get some help together. Go book a doctor's appointment and go to the doctor with them. Be their wing person. We've got too many people in the world that have died a death by suicide. In my family, my stepfather, I was 9. He was 36 years of age. He took his life on the 3rd of December. My sister, who was 2 years older than I, when she got to 14, she never recovered from losing our stepfather, to be honest, and she started doing drugs and getting involved, heroin, prostitution, the whole 9 yards. And when she was trying to get her life back in order at the age of 36, on 15-minute suicide watch, she took her own life. She actually hung herself from the window ledge in the hospital she was in. It was on the 3rd of December. So she died the same age and on the same day as my stepfather. Now, she might have done that for multiple reasons. I don't know. I spent years of my life trying to help her. Don't lose your life because of money. Don't get involved with these guys. If you've lost $100,000, $5 million, it's only money. Money will not give you life. And this is what I don't like about these Ponzi schemes. They paint a life of, a passive income. Who doesn't want a passive income? Who would like more money than a ball can shit? And this is what they're selling you, but this isn't what they're delivering to you. So let's not get into that. So this video is on my YouTube channel. Hopefully with a bit of luck, you just come to, go to Danny, search for Danny to Heck, you'll find my website. Come down to here, you'll see it's been online for a day or 2, and you'll see this full uncut version of Sam Lee, and it's breathtaking. I really recommend that you watch it. And now that I have the privilege, just to reiterate, we've got the true story behind HyperVerse. This was published a couple of days ago or 24 hours ago, and this is them telling you that they actually got hacked. And this is the truth behind it all. This is a knee-jerk reaction when Sam has actually come on to the Hyper community, and he looks like he is trying to steal the community from whoever is behind HyperVerse, HyperNation, HyperShop, HyperBond, HyperPlanet, which is their new one, and then you've got HyperFun. It just goes on and on and on, and I'm going a bit loopy even talking about it. But their hidden agenda is not to get your money back. Their hidden agenda is to keep the community together so they can keep getting USDT from you guys. So sharpen up a little bit. Watch the video about Sam. Don't listen to propaganda information. I mean, think about this. In a Telegram group that I was there was 57 of us, and I could chat in there. They've certainly turned off all the chatting. I can't chat anymore, nor can anyone. 10,000 people turned up with their hand out saying, I want my 1 times reward back. The guy that lost $5 million to HyperVerse, how do you think he will be thinking? He better show an interest to this. He may get his $5 million back, and his family ain't going to sue him anymore. You know, really, I mean, this is what they're doing to people. You know, unfortunately, guys, the money's long gone. As I said earlier, and I'll say it again, 52% of the money that goes in when you invest goes off to these leaders. The leaders are the one taking the money out in real time. This is what they were doing. Kalpesh Patel, rumoured, taking $1 million out of HyperVerse a day. $1 million a day. That is coming from the referral money these leaders get. These leaders are in here now trying to get you into HyperNation because they get backhanders every time they introduce someone new to it. They're building teams. They think that this is invincible. Where does the money come from to do the billboard advertising? They tell you the money comes from the billboard advertising through selling NFTs. I don't know anyone that can do a month-long, 2-month-long campaign without any money to sell something like an NFT. They need the money up front. There was Tron scans done at the time from HVT. You could see large amount of money going out. If that was the case, if they did get scammed, that large amount of money that went out went to a scammer, he got the money out. It was done before they realized it. That money would have been long gone. Once it goes into somebody's crypto wallet, if they're clever enough to hack into the back end of the system, they would have been clever enough to get rid of the money before Binance, or what do they call it? Binance, or I can't even believe they actually tried to throw that one in there. Binance or, FTX. So Sam Bankman-Fried has got everyone's HyperVerse dollars in a secure location. My ass. Absolutely incredible. Hey, look, check out my channel. These videos survive by you guys liking and commenting. And if you are subscribed to my YouTube channel, it makes a huge difference. So if you subscribe, hit the bell, you'll be notified when my new videos are released. You'll also be notified when I go live on YouTube. Now, yesterday I did a 4-hour, 47-minute long stream, and I'm currently busting a guy by the name of Steve McCullum. Now, Steve McCullum is a professional scammer. He runs the company called Luna One, or Polo. Now, a wee story which is quite interesting is Luna One was promoted by Vivian and Pinicky Nark, which is amazing. And they won a prize within Luna One. Long time ago, I didn't realize this. But anyway, since I've got to know Luna Currency and Luna FinTech, and also, what was the other one? Apollo One, Apollo Currency, Apollo FinTech, and Luna One, and all the other things he's part of, Gold Inc. This guy alleges that he lost $100 million deal, and he sent me a cease and desist letter basically telling me he's going to go after me for his losses and to stop doing other videos. So I researched him for the last 2 months, and I spent 2 weeks putting together a video. It's seriously the best video I've ever done exposing someone. It's just gone live 2 hours ago, and I streamed that same video on my YouTube channel. So long story short, guys, go watch the video of Sam Lee trying to tell the community he's here to help, and he's trying to steal you guys. Make sure you hit the thumbs up on this video. It really makes a huge difference. And last but not least, like and hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. And there's always an elephant in the room when you're doing these proptos. I'm Danny T. Heck, aka the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger. I thank you for tuning in and watching another video exposing HyperVerse, HyperFund, HyperCapital, Colin Star Group, Blockchain Global, HyperPlanet, and HyperNation. And that's me doing my clicker. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.